You're here. Good. To review the current situation, one of our patrols located a cache of dangerous weapons in a raider's storeroom. Stolen Brotherhood weapons, no less. Your assignment is to secure the storeroom for the Brotherhood, and the weapons along with it. I'll put together a squad and meet you there. But given the situation, it's imperative you arrive there as soon as possible. Any questions, Initiate?
Running my own operation would involve this much paperwork.
Paladin Ramani forbids engagement without warning. So, we will attempt to speak to them when we arrive. That being said, the raiders have already made it clear they're determined to be our enemies, stealing supplies, ambushing patrols, using Brotherhood weapons to terrorize the region. If they are unwilling to cooperate, we will put our foot down. So be prepared for combat.
Might buy us goodwill with the locals.
I should put negligence on your record for asking that question. Lucky for you, I don't have the time, if you can recall your last assignment. It had to do with putting down a rabid den of Blood Eagles in possession of military-grade rocket launchers. The same kind of rocket launchers were discovered in the possession of some raiders from Crater. Needless to say, that's a problem, and we are going to fix it.
I can't believe these people are still hurling nukes at each other. It's madness.
One last thing. We need to confirm the weapon's source. I find it unlikely the raiders will be willing to talk until after we send them a very clear message. If any of them are still alive after that, we can question them. But priority one is securing the weapons they already have. That will be all. Dismissed.
We're here to stay.
Well, looks like we have a visitor. Did the Brotherhood send you? Didn't know they were working with run-of-the-mill average wastelanders. Thought they wanted you strapped into one of those tin cans round the clock. It's wrong of me to judge by appearances, though. Why don't you introduce yourself? That's so. You got a deed to go with that claim? 'Cause, we're not gonna sign it.
This vault and all material goods within are hereby under possession of the Brotherhood of Steel. This requisition will aid us in the preservation of technology and the protection of mankind. Your compliance will ensure your safety.
You know, I'm interested in hearing more about this protection of mankind business. I suppose killing a few no-good raiders is an easy price to pay for the benefit this measly little vault will provide for us as a species. Is that it?
I repeat, your compliance will ensure your safety. Not that I'd expect a simple-minded brute to understand.
Resorting to name-calling already. I have to say, I'm disappointed. Thought I'd be able to speak to someone civilized from a big-shot organization like yours. What about you, Forward Scout? Think we can work this one out? Or are your underpants in as tight of a bunch as Mr. Compliance over there? Who's to say we don't have that whole platform you're standing on rigged to blow?
I'll call your bluff. You didn't expect us to come.
Alright, I'll admit, this is a serious oversight on my part. Should have known those initiates who stopped by would have gone crying to their superiors. Humor me on one thing. This place doesn't offer us any strategic leverage over the Brotherhood. If anything, you're gonna waste more resources protecting a place so far away from your home base. So then, it must be the weapons that are important to you. What's so special about these rocket launchers that a top-ranking member would come to collect them himself?
I don't know how you became aware of our internal hierarchy, but it's irrelevant to the situation. You will leave the weapons in the vault and disperse. Now.
How about you? Do you seriously take orders from this constipated suit of metal? Terrorize? We're out here trying to survive, just like anyone else. Meanwhile, the Brotherhood is marching around in power armor, threatening people who don't meet its demands. You tell me who's the real terror. We're heading back to Crater. This stash isn't worth it.
Not so fast. Tell us where you got those weapons from.
Ooh, sorry. I don't discuss Raider affairs on Brotherhood territory. If you really want to know, you can come talk to me in Crater. Don't worry. If it's only one of you, we don't usually kill on sight. Now let us through.
We completed the first part of our mission. You composed yourself in a manner befitting of the Brotherhood. We don't compromise, especially not with raiders. It's clear you understand that. Moving forward, we still need to track down the weapon source. That man appeared to know something. I don't care how you get it out of him, but make sure you get it. Yes, it's dangerous, but not as dangerous as it would be to leave this thread hanging. Our duty as the Brotherhood is to preserve the future of mankind, to be relentless in our removal of threats, present and future. I wouldn't send you on this mission if I didn't think you were capable of coming back alive. I thought the raiders were bad enough before that vile cretin opened his mouth. And we just let him. This is off topic, Initiate. Don't ask me a question like that again. This is your top priority. The longer we let these weapons spread, the more difficult it will be to track down all of them.
Deserve to just barge in like that. That knight acts like some kind of righteous savior.
I told you. And they're only gonna get more confident.
I won't let them. Do we have their patrol routes yet? A couple ambushes ought to take them down a notch.
We'll have to discuss this later. We've got a visitor.
So, you really came? Huh. To be honest, I didn't expect the Brotherhood to show its face around here with anything less than a fully armored battalion. Life is just full of surprises, isn't it? So, what can I do for you, oh honorable emissary of steel? About that. You and your metal buddies put me in a pretty tight spot back there. There are people here in Crater depending on me. I wasn't sure if I was gonna make it back to them. So I prioritized a little bit. Getting home to those people was more important than being completely sincere to a group of heavily armed tyrants. So if you're looking for help with your little weapon problem, you can look somewhere else.
Don't you think you're being stubborn, Pierce? We have a good little Brotherhood peon here at our disposal. We can make use of that.
We've been over this. There's no compromising with people like the Brotherhood. Give them an inch and they'll take a mile.
We don't know that yet for sure. Besides, everyone has their own motivations. Our visitor might have one worth talking about.
I won't rely on a betrayal to take them down. You should know that. I have nothing left to discuss. I've given you my answer, Initiate. Now for your sake, I'd suggest you don't stick around.
Hey, you. Don't leave yet. I've got something to say. Don't mind Pierce, he's stubborn. Holds too tightly to his morals. I'll tell you about the weapons, but you're gonna need to give me something in return. Interested? I want intel on the Brotherhood. Records, roster, correspondence. You've got people specialized in keeping track of that sort of thing, right? Transfer their data onto this holotape and bring it back to me. Then I'll tell you what you want to know. We're not on friendly terms with the Brotherhood. What do you think we're gonna do with it? Don't worry. If the Brotherhood is as powerful as they are confident, then it shouldn't make any difference, right? This isn't a betrayal. It's just good business sense. Toodles.
From California, and here I am. Well, if it isn't my favorite initiate, how can I help?
One day I'll make night. Then I'll show those
Raiders, huh? If they're anything like the raiders we've encountered on the expedition route, then my guess is the situation isn't pretty. All right, how can I help? I think I understand. The funny thing about data is you don't know what's real or not. Not unless you gathered it yourself. To be honest, I was working on encrypting my terminal for this kind of situation. So, if anyone accessed it who wasn't supposed to, they would just get false info and none would be the wiser. I didn't finish, but you can still use the fake data I created. Should be clearly labeled in the files. Just, don't select the wrong one. This is the raiders we're talking about. It'd be bad news if they got an advantage on us. Worse, if the Knight found out it was because of me. Not a problem. I'm here to help. I wonder what legacy I'll leave to the scrolls.
Find, protect, and preserve. Wasteland is hell. Stay vigilant, Initiate.
The weapon may keep me safe, but it doesn't make these repairs go any faster.
If anything tries to attack, we'll be ready.
With all these new initiates, I may need another scribe just to keep the scrolls up to date.
We'll have to tally up the new raiders. Hope they're not weaklings. You've got the holotape? Good, thanks. The weapons don't have one source. Some of them we looted off a group of unfortunate settlers. We've also traded them among ourselves. Some old friends visited Crater a while back wielding that firepower, claiming they earned it in a fight. They were bragging about it till the day they left. Said they sent some big armored folks running. I can't confirm that the losers were Brotherhood, but that was your logo on the side of those weapons, wasn't it? Doesn't matter to me. Now, I told you what I know. With any luck, we won't talk again. Yep. They may or may not have more, but they've definitely come in contact with them. West. They said they passed through Ohio before coming here. I don't know how much further out they went. They wouldn't shut up about it, so I learned to tune it out pretty quick. But I do remember them passing around a helmet with a bullet hole through its visor. A trophy from the Fallen. Don't change your mind. This was a one-time offer, and it's one that neither of us will speak of again.
mistakes of the past.
I see you returned from
Build
Crater.
something better.
Standing by for your report. That's not what I was hoping to hear. All right. Tell me about the sources.
Night Shin's training, weapons, and a base like this? We're gonna be invincible.
It's impressive how
I
much
see.
we've managed to rebuild here.
And are those raiders still at Crater?
Play.
It can't be helped then. We need to focus on Appalachia for the moment. And the other one. Foundation 2. This is bad. Worse than I thought. At this rate, all of Appalachia will be toting these rocket launchers. All because of... Forgive me, Initiate. I lost my composure. We need to follow up with Foundation as soon as possible.
We're gonna have to bring the Crater Raiders under control eventually.
So that's everything. That was a thorough report. The
Unnecessary.
Brotherhood appreciates your diligence looking into this matter. Our next step is to deal with Foundation. Paladin Romani already had plans to establish contact, so she'll want to hear about this. No need to expound everything. I'll follow up later with a more detailed report.
Another complaint. Shin's certainly winning us friends here.
Ad Victorium.
Or else we'll make the same mistakes going forward. One day I'll make night. Then I'll show those raiders who's boss.
Ah, Initiate. I haven't had the chance to discuss your last assignment with Knight Shin yet. Was there something you needed to report to me directly?
Disorder is to be expected in a place
Really?
like Brotherhood.
Foundation? That's troubling.
Still, this is...
How well do you know the people of Foundation? That's good. Then I'm sure you're aware that they've managed to carve out a solid living for themselves in Appalachia. I spoke with a few members of their community, looking for ways to work together. We're in need of food and water. They have plenty to spare. However, knowing they may have those weapons, accelerates matters. It's critical that we follow up with them right away. Your mission is as follows. Meet with Gloria Chance, the supervisor of Foundation Supply Room. Determine whether or not they've seen or acquired such weapons for themselves. And lastly, establish a trade deal with Foundation. Something that will provide us longevity in Appalachia.
This list done.
And allow me to stress, both returning with the weapons and securing a trade deal are equally important objectives, Initiate. Remember, you represent the Brotherhood to these people. Do us proud.